my child. I didn't have it, my wife did, but still my child. So today, yes, I am by myself, but that's because tomorrow I told Noah that we are recording the video I'm doing right now, but instead I'm gonna surprise him by helping him do some cool shit with his new office. That'll be a separate video, not replacing any car content. So if you're not interested in that shit, you don't have to watch it. The regular schedule will not be altered. Now, the Civic is not what we're doing today. I'm sure you saw in the title. Got a new mom-mobile and I want to level that bitch. So we're gonna put the 2-inch rough country leveling kit on my wife's new 2014 Tahoe LTZ. Okay, I'm gonna start by measuring the heights of the front and the rear before installing them on. We're looking at 3 feet in the front, 36 inches. We're looking at 38 inches in the rear. So ideally, this 2-inch leveling kit should make it almost perfectly level. Let's open it up. Rough country, baby. Opening it up, this is what we see. These 2 plastic things, they go between the bottom of the shock absorber and the bottom A-arm. It also comes with some longer bolts and some nylock nuts. Those are nice because I don't have to use thread lock. Comes with instructions with torque values and a rough country sticker in case you want to advertise to the people that you never off-road, but you want them to think you do. Okay guys, so looking at this, there's only one concern I have. This little circular sensor with an arm coming off it and then a tie rod looking thing going down to the top A-arm is what controls the Stabilitrak, which is like the automatically adjusting air ride suspension in the rear. And I've read a lot of forums saying that Chevy vehicles with Stabilitrak may or may not have issues with lifts. And this one will affect the angle of this arm. I'm putting a lifting block essentially under the bottom of the shock, which will put this A-arm, which this is attached to, at a lower angle. We're gonna cross our fingers and hope that it's not messed up, but it might be. Let's find out together. You just take off the 2 bolts underneath the shock. There they are. So you're going to start by removing those 2 bolts I showed you with a 15mm socket. Okay, so as you can see, I have some clearance below my shock absorber. I gotta take these 2 little clip nuts off. Sayonara! There we go. We're going to disconnect the tie rod end, the sway bar linkage, and possibly the top A-arm, but I'm not sure about that one yet. You're gonna want a 21mm wrench to disconnect your tie rod. There's my nut. I'll disconnect my sway bar linkage as well. For that, I'm going to use a 15mm socket. There you go. Crack that puppy loose. Disconnect the upper A-arm. The way we're gonna do that is by removing this 18mm nut. Okay, so I have everything removed that they told me to remove in the instructions. Upper A-arm, tie rod end, and sway bar linkage. Alright guys, I know in that last clip you saw that I had my sway bar linkage detached and my tie rod end detached. That's what rough country tells you to do, but I'm doing this side and you don't need to do that. You don't need to loosen the top strut bolts. You don't need to even touch this tie rod end. You do need to loosen your sway bar, but you do not need to take the nut all the way off. All you need to do is get this ball joint out. Use that 18mm wrench, take the nut off, and then smack on this part with a hammer till it pops out. Be ready to catch it and have a jack under it. It's going to put a lot of stress on your brake cable or your ABS cable if you're not careful. Once you catch it, you can rotate this entire assembly to the right and get this bolt through the top. And you can lower it slowly with your jack to get enough clearance to put your actual brick in there. You do not need to do all the other stuff. We're going to crack our jack loose very slowly, very gently. We have enough clearance now to get our bolt in from the top down. However, it is putting some pressure on this brake line. So I need to make sure that I do this quickly and keep pressure off the brake line. So here we go. In, that's one. Okay, got my bolts in. Now I'm going to jack this up real quick. Put some pressure on our top A-arm here. Get that puppy threaded. There we go. It is started, so it will hold everything in place. Now, so that I'm not lifting this assembly with that nut, I'm going to continue jacking it up. Now, I'm going to tighten her up. My ball joint is now spinning in place. So, in order to prevent that, they have an Allen key hole at the bottom of the stud. The size on that is 7/32. The Allen wrench is 7/32. Torque to spec. Now I'm going to put my 21 back on. If this ball joint starts to spin, you can actually fit a 10mm socket on the bottom of the stud. So that's kind of cool. Okay, already spinning in place. Pranked. Now lastly, we just gotta do our sway bar linkage. Voila. Now we just gotta put the nuts on the bottom of the shock absorber. Okay, got her all done. Don't forget to torque your lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds. We were at 36 inches before. Now we should be closer to 38. We're right at 38. That's cool. Now, thing is, I don't know a whole lot about the Chevy Stabilitrak system. I don't know if it's going to sense that the fronts are higher now and it's going to lift the back or throw a code or what. I have no idea. I'm gonna start her up and test drive her and let you guys know what happens, if anything. Hopefully not anything, but we'll see. Now for the final touch, little sticker. Got my window nice and clean. Cute. I'm gonna give you guys a cold start because it does have a Flowmaster 40 series on it with the rear resonator delete. Sounds pretty good in my opinion. Okay guys, as you can see, there are no Stabilitrak issues, no lights on, nothing. I didn't clear any codes, there's no warning lights. I drove the car around for about 10 minutes on the highway, around the neighborhood, hit a bunch of speed bumps, no Stabilitrak lights at all, nothing seemed off. And after I let the suspension settle and got back, I remeasured to make sure that the Stabilitrak didn't do some weird like, well, the front's 38 now, so the back needs to be 40. No, it's just 38 all around. Looks good, feels good. And yeah, this is just proof that for your 2007 through 2014 Stabilitrak equipped LTZ Tahoe, you can install the Rough Country 2-inch lift kit without any issues. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.